Welcome to the BossTalks podcast. It's Bossman here, and today I'm with someone that you've probably seen on Twitter. He's known for the size of his eggplant, and I'm excited for you guys to kind of get to know him. So, you want to introduce yourself?
What's up, boss man? My name is Drake Vaughn. You guys probably all know me already, but yeah, I'm glad to be here.
For sure. So, how long have you been doing social media in general?
I would have to say, I've been doing social media ever since I was younger. I started off doing YouTube, and then I kind of dabbled in a little bit of a TikTok, and then I started an Instagram. But for adult content, I would say roughly about 3.5 years now.
Mm-hmm. And do you? I'm pretty sure you do studio work, right?
Yes, I do studio work, professional, adult work. That's not a lot. I know a lot of my friends here, they don't do that, but that is something that I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into OF?
Honestly, OF, before I did OF, I was doing studio work.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't even know what OF was.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone kept telling me, OF's, you're going to make so much more money on it. This is how you interact with your fans. This is how you build a social media platform. And I was like, okay, sure. Let me give this OF thing a try. And then when I first started it, I made a lot of money. And I was like, this is way, no shade to studio work, but I was like, This is way more efficient. And I get to be my own boss. I get to choose my own schedule, and I get to pick who I want to work with.
Right.
So I was like, why wouldn't you do, content?
Mm-hmm. So in studio work, do you ever get to pick your own people that you work with?
So in the beginning, my earlier studio work days, no, because I was fresh meat, and you just kind of have to be paired with what the studio wants you to be paired with, right? Who they think is going to be a good match, or sometimes who's ever available, right? Because not everyone has weird schedules, so sometimes people will, flake or not show up or get sick, or just like a normal job. So but now recent days, since I've been I got a contract with Men, I do get a little bit more flexibility on who I get to work with, for sure.
That's pretty cool. What was you doing for work before you ever really got into studio work or anything in that industry?
So I've actually had a lot of jobs. I think my first job was I was a lifeguard. Saving lives, helping the community. And then I was promoted to a lifeguard instructor and, water safety instructor. And this was all pre-COVID. And then COVID happened, and everyone was kind of laid off, which honestly was kind of a good thing, because, those unemployment checks that I was getting were really nice, really good. So I was like, oh, this is great. And then, then they wanted to reopen. I was like, well, I'm still getting these checks. I might as well, making way more just from sitting here.
Right.
And then a few other jobs I had. I did some stuff for Amazon, Taco Bell, and just a lot of side gigs, just because, I'm like a workaholic. So if I wasn't working, I just felt lazy. Oh, and YouTube also paid me money too.
What was you doing on YouTube?
Completely unrelated to what I do now. I was making animation videos. Yeah, like 3D art, characters fighting each other, interacting with each other, talking with each other.
Yeah.
I basically created stories and cinematic movies, basically.
Is it somewhat like anime, kind of?
I would say it's kind of like anime, yeah, but more like a 3D, if anime, like Pixar, more like. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I've never heard of someone do that before.
Yeah, it's hard. It was hard work. It was hard to learn. It was hard to master. But I haven't done it in so long. I would be very sloppy and very out of touch if I were to go back to it. But one day I might, because it was really fun when I did it, and it got a lot of views. Some of my videos got over 10 million views.
Jeez.
I think I'm almost at 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, but
dang,
the channel has been completely abandoned. So
yeah. So it might be hard to start it back up.
Yeah, this is my life now. So
yeah, maybe it's something you can do, when you dip in retirement.
Yeah,
but
sure.
So as long as you've been doing it, do you have? Because I've been seeing you, on social media and stuff. Do you have any cool stories that has happened from OF? cool fans maybe flying you out or doing stuff like that?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, this job has its perks for sure. You know, you meet a lot of fans who have a lot of money, who want to spoil you, treat you well, buy you things, and I'm here for all of that. You know, I think that's like a part of the job, right? If you're why would you turn down gifts? Why would you turn down any generosity from your fans, right? That's the whole point of the job, is to, you know, make money and have a good life and experience everything that life has to offer. And if life is offering you, say, a new car or new teeth or whatever, like, you know, take that. Take it for sure.
That's pretty cool. And I know you do studio work and the OF, and it seems like every time I check Twitter, you're always collabing with someone. What would you say your body count is, if you even know it anymore?
Oh man, this is a tough question because do we count bodies if it's on camera?
Yeah.
Do we? Okay. Man,
How many holes has that big thing?
How many holes has this
Guys,
big thing
girls?
conquered?
Yeah, totally.
Are we talking guys or girls?
Let's do both.
Let's do both all together. Okay, so man, it probably, I want to say over like 300, you know, 300, 400.
For guys or girls or both?
For both. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It jumps up like every week, you know? So I kind of lost count, but I would have to say a couple hundred for sure. Girls, maybe a little less now, just because, I mean, I still do stuff with girls, but I definitely film with a lot more guys just because it's what the fans want, you know? And I'm here to entertain the fans, so.
So what do you consider in your personal life your sexuality to be?
My sexuality.
Like, before you ever got into this industry, have you ever like experimented with guys before?
Yeah, I have. I've definitely experimented with guys, and I think that will definitely help you for sure if you have some sort of experience with the same gender before you get into the industry. Whether, you know, it's so crazy because people love it. I don't think sexuality really matters, right? I feel like we should be able to just do what we want to do, and who cares what we're into in our personal lives. But I would say, yes, it's definitely really important to have some sort of experience, because you don't want your first experience to be on camera, right? Because you don't know how you're going to react. You don't know how it's going to feel. You don't know, you don't know anything. So I feel like you should definitely be a little bit comfortable with yourself before doing it and giving it away on camera.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've done with a guy, like on or off camera?
Man, probably.
So doing this for so long, what's the craziest customer request that you've got from a fan?
Craziest customer request?
That you haven't done. That was just like
that I haven't
crazy.
done. Probably number 2. You know, taking a dookie on a camera.
Yeah,
just something I just can't see myself doing. No matter what the price is.
And what's the craziest customer request that you've actually done?
Man, I don't know, because my definition of crazy isn't probably
something that'd be crazy to the average person.
What's something that you've done? Like,
I haven't really done nothing too crazy, honestly. I'm pretty vanilla with the customs.
Yeah, I guess tie somebody up and just like destroy them.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good customer request to do, I think.
Yeah, consensually, of course.
Yeah, that's like a full video right there.
I know, right? You charge a lot for that.
Yeah, that's cool. I made a video where I got tied up and had some stuff happen to me.
Oh.
It's on my page, actually.
All right, we got to do that.
Yeah, it's with a girl, though, so I don't know if they'll like it as much.
That's the problem.
Yeah. On every single video I've seen, you're always a top. Like, do you ever, bottom?
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I am a top for sure. Dom top will always be a top. There was one time I did bottom, one on my blue page, and then there was one for the studio that I work for, men.com. Shout out men.com. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. They really worked me for sure. Definitely worth it. But yeah, it was with Joey Mills and
For the blue page and the studio, or
no,
just
my
the
blue
studio?
page was separate. But for the studio, I would say it was a lot more intense,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's a lot more angles.
Mm-hmm.
And my scene partner was very, very hung. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I either go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably
Mm-hmm.
one of my first times bottoming for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever been down bad? Because I know you're in a position where you can do it whenever, wherever, pretty much. Has there ever been a time where you like been with someone that you like really regretted, like just based off attractiveness, or like have you ever had to do a scene with someone that was just like really unattractive?
Scene or off camera?
Both.
Because there's been plenty of times where I've been paired with people that I don't find attractive or I'm not into. And same with the blue page. Sometimes I'll film with people, based on their vibes and their following and stuff. Not really based on attractiveness. In my personal life, though, there's been a few times that I've been catfished pretty hard. And it was already kind of too late. They were already there.
It's never too late, bro.
No, and I just I'm like, what do I do? Do I drive away? Do I tell them to leave, or do I just commit to the idea? Do I commit to the job? Do I get the job done? And there's been a few times where I'm like, all right, you know what? You're already here. Let's just do it. Let's get it over with. It's not going to be enjoyable for me, but it probably won't even be enjoyable for you. But let's just make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't happen again because I don't like getting catfished.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be the one to be like, nah, you gotta go home. I mean, there's been a few times where, like once or twice, where it was like totally different person. And I was like,
yeah.
sorry, no. But most of the time, I'll just hold my tongue.
Yeah. It's always like those people that have like, if you ever look at their social media profiles, especially with girls, I've noticed, if they haven't posted a picture since like 2022, like usually there's a reason. Like usually
What
there's something
happens?
going on.
It's crazy. It's like, what happens between that time to now? It's like, why do they look so different? You know? Or what I've noticed too is when they take pictures, but they only take really close selfie shots, right? To where you can only just see like the front of their face. You can't see anything else.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest catfishes.
Yeah.
If you see that on any site, someone taking photos really close to their face, they don't show their body, they don't show anything else. That's a catfish for sure, 100%.
Yeah, that actually happened to me. I went to Panama. It was about a week ago. That happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I was
worst.
like, sheesh.
Did you commit?
No.
No? What'd you do? You just told her to go away?
I just came up with an excuse. I was like, I literally was like, we were laying there and I was like, can I squeeze your cheeks, like her face cheeks?
Yeah.
Like just like messing around. She was like, no. I was like, oh, it's a deal breaker then. And I just walked out the room. And then I went and I was like standing on the balcony, just like enjoying the weather. So he came out there and she's like trying to have a conversation with me. She's like, is that seriously a deal breaker? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're really not going to let me? She said, no. I was like, dang, okay.
Yeah.
And then she left, walked all the way back to her hotel.
Good for you.
Good 20-minute walk of shame.
Yeah, good for you. Because sometimes I felt bad and I just did it.
I can't believe you commit to that stuff, man.
It's not all the time. It's not all the time, but there's just sometimes, especially if they drove really far or if I had to drive really far or whatever, it's just like,
Yeah.
I'll let them have their moment for sure.
What's the farthest you've ever drove to like a sneaky link?
Ooh, probably like 1.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it was like state line.
Yeah.
Anything more though, like I can't. Like I couldn't do like a 4-hour drive just for some hole. Like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I'm trying to think I think the farthest I've probably drove is, from what I'm aware of, is like 50 minutes.
50 minutes. Yeah.
I think that's the farthest I've ever drove.
Anything more, it's just like I'm pushing it.
Well, usually I either meet them out or like I'm like sometimes my Tinder, my hens would be popping.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, they usually just come to me most of the time. Or I'll like meet them out and then like those come back.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
usually it's never just me like pulling up to, someone I've never met before, especially if it's over like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
Don't want to get catfished again.
yeah, because that's happened to me, especially off Tinder. That's happened to me, I think 2 or 3 times now. And like the very first time was like the first person I met off Tinder, like when me and my ex broke up. And like I drove past her because like I was texting her on Snap and she was in her driveway and I passed her, like not thinking it was her, like thinking it was somebody's mom. Like I just didn't think about it. And she texted me, she's like, "You drove past me." And like I'm not thinking it's her.
Like there's no way.
I'm like I it didn't recollect. Like I thought I just missed her.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and I'm pulling up and I see it's her. And I was fixing to just drive off. But she was walking like in front of my car. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so what I did is I took her to the crib and I turned on Fortnite. I sat there and played Fortnite for 2 hours. And then I was like, well, me and my homie, we got to go to the dump. We got like a bunch of cardboard. Because it was like when I first moved into my house.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we got to go to the dump. I was like, I'll take you home.
Good excuse.
Then, yeah, I was
you
like,
should have dropped her off at the dump too.
I should have, huh? I was like, I'm gonna take you home, and then we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna go to the dump, and unadded her. I was like,
Nice.
I'll never see her again.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Don't catfish people. It's rude.
Well, because then it's like just awkward. Because then like if you don't look like that, like update a picture,
Literally.
or at least slide like one picture in a slide somewhere so you can like see an updated version. Even if your face isn't in it.
You know, we should just like FaceTiming people before we meet up with them, just so like we know for sure,
Yeah, but even on FaceTime, I feel like you can still manipulate the angles, kind of.
Yeah, well, we like put the phone 10 feet away from you, take 10 steps back, and give us a spin, so we know what we're getting into.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm doing that next time.
Same.
I like that. Well, bro, it was really nice talking to you, bro. I've been like looking forward to having you on the pod since I started one.
Yeah.
So,
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been great.
Yeah. And I'm sure they already know you, but go ahead and plug your socials.
My name is Drake Bond. You guys can find me at Drake Bond XXX on X, DAHZUN1 on Instagram, Drake Bond X on TikTok, Drake Bond X on YouTube, and yeah.
Link will be in the description. I'm Boss Man Bates on everything, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.